Imagine making 10K a month just by working online. No huge investment, just you, your knowledge, and a proven system. And so in this video, I'm going to share exactly how I've went from 0 to 500K a month, starting with no skills, connection, or special resource. By this end of the video, you will have a clear roadmap to turn your knowledge into a scalable, life-changing online income. And so the first thing I want to talk about is about the mindset. The mindset is everything. If you want to make money, change your life, or build something meaningful, the first thing you need to do is master your mindset. It's easy to focus on strategies, tools, and technique, but none of those will matter if you don't have the discipline to keep going when things get hard. Because here is the truth. You're going to fail, and you're going to face rejection, self-doubt, and obstacles that make you want to quit. But your mindset is what determines whether you push through or give up. And if you can build the right mindset, there is literally no limit to what you can achieve. And so for me, this realization hit me hard at the start of the C19. I was stuck at my parents' house, no social life, no distractions, and nowhere to go. And so I felt suffocating. I couldn't escape into my usual routines or distraction. And for the first time, I was forced to sit with my thoughts. And it wasn't comfortable, even scary, because I kept asking myself, what am I doing with my life? I felt lost, unsure of my direction, and overwhelmed by the uncertainty of everything happening in the world. And that's when I made a decision. I couldn't control the pandemic or the circumstance around me, but I could control myself. And I could use this time to rebuild not just my plan, but my mindset and my habit. That's when I unknowingly entered now what I call the monk mode. And so the monk mode was my way of cutting through the noise and focusing completely on self-discipline and growth. And so I created a strict routine that revolved around 3 non-negotiables. So the first one was meditation. I was doing that 10 minutes daily. So at first it felt weird sitting in silence, but I quickly realized it was a game changer because meditation helped me manage my anxiety and gain clarity about what I wanted in my life. And so it taught me to focus on the things I could control instead of obsessing over what I couldn't. The second thing is exercise. And so I was doing that around 30 minutes daily. I wasn't trying to become an athlete. I just knew that staying active was key to staying mentally strong. And whether it was a quick run, body weight exercise in the backyard, or yoga session, moving my body became an anchor for my day. And so it gave me energy and kept me focused. And the last thing was no bad food, no alcohol. I think that this one was really tough, but it made a huge difference because I realized these were escape routes I couldn't afford to take because cutting them out gave me the clarity to start seeing real progress in my life. It wasn't about depriving myself, it was about removing distraction so I could focus on building something meaningful. And so those habits became the backbone of my routine, but I didn't stop here. I also set personal goals that keep me moving. So I started a simple business idea. I read books that challenged me and helped me grow. And I planned my day with laser focus every single morning. And so for 4 months, I lived in this bubble of discipline. And it wasn't easy. There were days I felt like giving up, days when progress felt really slow, and days when I doubted myself. But every small win built my confidence. And every habit I stuck to strengthened my mind. And by the time those 4 months were over, I wasn't just a different person. I had a foundation that allowed me to turn my small business idea into what will eventually become a 500K per month operation. And it's exactly the same business I'm running today. So this monk mode really changed my life. So what did I do exactly? I'm going to talk about that today. So when I was in this monk mode, I had really like to choose one good business, And so I know that right now you can start a lot of different business, but back in the time, I didn't have like a lot of choice. Right now, you can like start an SMMA. The thing is that with SMMA, it's require constant client management and it's really, really hard to scale. And because of really popular people like Iman Gadzi and Charlie Morgan, this space is becoming more and more saturated. So I wouldn't advise you to start an SMMA for now. You can also look into dropshipping, but the problem with dropshipping is that it's also really saturated and the margin in dropshipping are really low. It used to be like a really good things back in the time, like in 2018, I think. But now I wouldn't advise you. And I'm not going to speak about OF stuff because I just don't like those business. I think that they are not good. When you make like dirty money, you're gonna have dirty consequences. So the best business to start today for me is the business that I'm doing right now, is to sell knowledge. And so selling knowledge, selling like online course, online community, mastermind, it's an amazing business because first, anyone can start it. You have a knowledge that you can share with the world for sure. And you don't have like to be the first expert in this world. You just only have to be one step further of your clients. So for example, when I started, I was working as a video photographer sometimes. And so when I entered my monk mode for 4 months, I was like, okay, so I have a bit of knowledge in the wedding photography industry. I know that photographers are struggling a lot to find clients, so let's specialize in wedding photography. I was like, okay, but I'm not an expert in like helping people find more wedding. I was doing that for myself, but like the system were not really good. But I was like, yeah, let's try it. I know that this business, selling knowledge, is a great business because the margins are really good. You can like record the course and it's really scalable. I know a lot of people that were doing like 1 million a month thanks to those business. The biggest influencer on YouTube are using this business, like Iman Gadi, Charlie Morgan, even Alex Hormozy. He's not selling courses, but he's selling workshop with upsell. So he's selling knowledge, he's selling info. And so back in the time, I didn't have those people, you know, Alex Hormozy and so on, but Sam Owens was my mentor. And so in Accelerator, he's really explained that this is the best business ever. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try it for 4 months. And so now I'm going to explain to you exactly the step that I follow. And so the first step, as I say, is to identify a niche. And so for me, as I said before, it was simple. It was the wedding photographer. But for you, it can be like anything related to your experience. I know that, for example, some people manage to lose weight, and so they can make a program around that. Some people like manage to get out of a burnout, so they do a program about that. I even have some people that their passion is dressing well. And so they manage to create an online course about that. And so this guy make like 50K per month. So the goal here is to really find your expertise, your passion, and turn it into a product to manage to do some profit. And so after that, when you identify the niche, the second thing is you have to create an offer. And I know that it's really hard at the beginning when you haven't done that. And for me, when I started with the wedding photographer, so I choose a niche, wedding, I was like, okay, I can help them. I don't know how exactly I'm going to help them. And I don't know exactly what I will offer them. And so I decided just simply to go on like a referral directories of wedding photographer in France. So it was a huge website. And so every day I was sending like cold emails. I was sending like 10 to 20 cold emails per day. And so I was managing to at least 1 or 2 calls per day. And so for the second month, I was just like taking calls, a lot of calls. And I understand that the big pain point for them was the lead flow. They didn't have any lead flow. They didn't know how to contact the people that wanted to get married. And so I was like, okay, I don't know how I'm going to help you, but I think that I can find a solution. So what I did exactly is that I proposed them to work for free. And so I found a really nice guy. He was a young guy. And I was like, okay, I'm going to help you do some Facebook ads. And so back in the time, I had no clue how those work, you know, I was just like completely new. I was a beginner, but I was like, okay, I want to create a good product. I want to have a good offer. So let's start by that. And so I did that for at least 2 weeks, I think. I worked all day long. And so I managed to create a system for him so that when he spent like $1 on ads, he would have 1 lead. So it was a really great system. And thanks to that, without like 2 weeks, I guess, he had like already 2 or 3 contracts signed. So it was really great. So I was like, okay, now I think that I know how to make them successful. So the third step was to get customers. And so to do that, pretty simple. I used the exact same website I found this guy that I help a lot. And so I was sending a lot of of cold emails all day long. And trust me, it was not easy because it was during the lockdown. So all the weddings were canceled. So I was like, okay, it, I don't care. And yeah, I was sending like at least 50 cold emails per day, I think. And I was managing to book a lot of sales calls. And thanks to that, I did like 10K pretty fast. And so I didn't have a huge audience back in the time. It was my first business ever, but I managed to do some 10K. And so at the end of the 4 months, I did around 10K. I don't remember the exact amount, but it was really easy. But you want to know the funny thing is that at the end of that 4 months, my brother was working on the therapist business because he helped our mother to grow her practice. And he was like, okay, it was you managed to do that, but what if we partner together? What if like we just work together, we just join force and we do the same that we did, but with therapists? And he already had some clients. And so we are like, okay, I think we have a better storytelling because our mother is a psychologist. Quentin had more clients. And so we decided to, just work together. And so, I decided to shut down this business. I just did like the delivery and then I went on the other business. But it was a great experience. It was my first time earning money on my own. And a lot of stuff that I learned here, I really used them again. So my brother already had the niche, the offer, but we were struggling getting clients. So we did exactly the same thing. A lot of cold emails. We are scraping like all the data from Google Maps. We are putting it in list and we are trying to generate our first customer, and that's also how we earn our first 10K. And then we turn on the ads, but that's another story. But yeah, earning 10K per month, honestly, it's really easy nowadays. There are plenty of opportunities, and yeah, I hope that you like this video. Let me know what you think and see you in the next one.